Well, according to some economists, it's seniors and low-income earners that are most impacted by rising inflation. So, who is it that decides what the inflation rate is, and what can we do about that? Well, perhaps it's simply my lack of understanding, but it seems to me that the rising inflation rate impacts the average consumer and, as I said earlier, seniors and low-income earners in particular. Hey. On the other hand, the banks, telecoms, huge national and multinational corporations are still seeing record profit levels. Interesting. As an example, let's look at the way inflation affects those who are receiving, say, the Canada Pension Plan. Now, in January of each year, the Canada Pension Plan rates are adjusted using a formula that has been created supposedly to give an accurate reflection of the adjusted cost of living for that year. There's an explanatory statement that I found on the federal website on February 27th, 2023, and it states, Statistics Canada is currently using 2002 as the base year. In 2002, the CPI was equal to 100. This means that the basket of goods in 2002 cost $100. The CPI in January 2022 was measured at 145.3, meaning that the same basket of goods that cost $100 in 2002 cost $145.30 in January 2022. The result was that the increase to Canada Pension in January 2023 was 6.5%, calculated as shown on this graphic from the federal website. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but it seems to me that the inflation rate for everyday items seems to be somewhat higher than that. A recent news item said that the inflation has dropped to 5.9%. Well, largely because the price of cars has come down temporarily. Now let's get real. I don't know about you, but I don't see a whole lot of seniors rushing out to buy new cars. But I do see us every day searching for healthy food we can afford as the cost at the grocery stores continues to rise dramatically. Well over 10% in January 2023, according to CTV's Food Inflation Tracker. So what is it that drives inflation? Surely it's not as simple as using political rhetoric and pointing fingers at other parties and corporations. While we see that all the time, is it really the way to find a solution to rampant increases? Well, probably not. It seems to me that politicians of all stripes tend to try and simplify complex issues by simply blaming each other and suggesting that greed is the main factor. Well, the reality, I believe, is way more complicated, and the solution will be quite convoluted and multifaceted. Now, does that mean that I don't think greed has a part to play in the increasing cost of living? Not at all. However, we have to remember that the whole purpose of a corporation is to provide dividends to its shareholders at all costs. It has no other reason to exist. The way it works is that if profit doesn't happen, the corporation will fail. And really, I suspect that those receiving the checks aren't asking the CEO and board to lower the amounts that they're receiving. But again, each company must show a profit or they simply disappear. Now that said, there's really a number of components beyond our control that impact the cost of goods and services as well. Climate change causing issues with food production. We've had a global pandemic. Russia's unjustified war on Ukraine that is affecting the entire world, and supply chain problems are just some of the major contributors to the overall problem. And the Bank of Canada has suggested that they kept interest rates too low for too long, and that caused some of the runaway inflation. Truth be told, I don't understand the financial world and the whole economy thing at all. It seems to me to be an imaginary world that we all agree to believe in. Now, apparently, from the way I see it, it's designed to benefit a few over the welfare of the many. But hey, look, I'm happy to have someone explain it differently to me. Show me how it's different than that. I'd really like to see it. But I digress. Now, as a bit of an aside, I see some people suggesting, after the fact of course, that some of the income support programs that were delivered in order to help us all through the pandemic are a major cause of the current inflation. Well, I really don't have a response to that because, as I said, I simply don't understand well enough, and I'm not about to start shooting off my mouth when I don't know what I'm talking about. But I am aware that a large number of people and businesses survived that difficult time because of the assistance provided. You know what? I haven't seen anyone jumping up and saying they turned down the help. It may have happened. I haven't seen it. Inflation, an issue that affects all of us. I hope this has been helpful and causes you to do some research and use critical thinking. I'd really like to hear from you. So please, leave me a comment or drop me a message. And like the video and subscribe to the channel. And then hit that bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. In the meantime, stay safe and enjoy your day. I'm wishing you peace, health, and harmony. Bye for now.